Good afternoon and welcome along to SUTV Live, your matchday home where we will bring you all of the build-up to each and every match this season. This afternoon's 3 p.m. kickoff will see Sheffield United take on Luton Town at Kenilworth Road, with the Blades looking to register their first league win of the new campaign. Following the home victory over Derby County in the League Cup here at Bramall Lane on Tuesday night, Slavica Jokanovic's side will be looking to take advantage of a Luton team who come into this afternoon off the back of a 5-0 thrashing at home to Birmingham City 7 days ago and ignite their Premier League promotion push. It's the Blades taking on the Hatters. All of the build-up is free and available to all Sheffield United fans up until 2:55 p.m. today, and the match itself is exclusively live for our overseas fans, all right here on your matchday home. Welcome to SUTV Live. Bramall Lane studio. The next 55 minutes of build-up to today's game is available free of charge here on this platform to all Blades fans. And then from 3 o'clock, you can see the full match feed also right here on SUTV Live for our overseas fans. But due to broadcasting regulations, will not be accessible to those fans within the UK. For all Blades fans outside of the UK who would like to watch live coverage of today's game, including exclusive commentary from our team of Matt Young and Kevin Gage, you will need to buy a match pass before 3 p.m. To do that, go to www.sufc.co.uk. All fans will also be able to see all of the details there around who can and can't access today's game via SUTV Live. Once again, those details, www.sufc.co.uk. Well, good afternoon and welcome once again. Coming up on today's show, I'll be joined by two very special guests who will be with me throughout this afternoon in our Bramall Lane studio. We'll run through the team news as well for today, which broke just moments before we came on air. The three of us will be taking a look back at Tuesday night's League Cup win over Wayne Rooney's Derby County side. We'll be getting reaction to that win from both Slavica Jokanovic and Luke Freeman. And then just before kickoff, we'll be hearing from the man of the moments from the last 7 days. That is, of course, club captain, Billy Sharp. Well, hello once again. Another match day looms. Sheffield United looking to get their first league win of the campaign. And we're joined by two very special guests. A familiar face, first of all, to regular viewers of SUTV Live. A good afternoon to Kevin Gage.
Good afternoon.
Looking forward to today's game?
Absolutely. Always look forward to Sheffield United games.
And are we confident, more importantly, this time?
Wouldn't go that far.
Well, Gage, you're keeping us on a knife edge, but I'm sure that confidence will grow the closer we come to kick-off. And then the second guest this afternoon, a debutant on SUTV Live, a familiar face to all Blades fans, is Enda Stevens. Welcome along to our studio, Enda. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I'm sure you'd rather be with the boys down at Kenilworth Road, first of all, wouldn't you? First, how is the injury going and where we're at?
It's good. It's I'm 2 weeks post-surgery. Had a double hernia up now, so looking at probably another 2 weeks now before I get back training with the lads.
Frustrating not to be involved at the moment?
Yeah, it has been. It's always frustrating when you're not playing games of football, and I just want to get back to obviously being fit and healthy and getting out there and helping the lads.
Well, obviously we want to see you on that pitch as soon as possible behind us, but we're delighted that you're with us this afternoon to look ahead to this afternoon's game against Luton Town. We did mention that the team news broke just before we came on air. Let's have a quick look at the Sheffield United team, which we'll take a closer, more detailed view of a little later in the build-up. But as you can see there, just the one change to the starting 11 from last Saturday's defeat to Huddersfield Town, that being Billy Sharp returning to the starting lineup for Rhian Brewster. Quick thought, Gagey?
It's the team we probably expected, isn't it? Billy Sharp has just forced his way into the team because he's doing what Billy Sharp does and scores goals, as you said earlier. So yeah, I'm pleased with the team. It's going to be the same shape we'd expect. You know, our three centre backs and wing backs, and then the two up front, the regular three in midfield. So yeah, decent team. Happy.
And I know there's been a lot of talk, certainly in the media this week, from Slavica Jokanovic, Luke Freeman and co, that the mentality is positive. They think, although there was a defeat last weekend, it was a good performance. Is that reflected in a starting lineup which is relatively unchanged?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look back at the game, we dominated long periods of the game. Unfortunate not to take the lead and especially to lose the game in the manner which we did. But I think you got to take the confidence from that game and move into a difficult game away at Luton. Okay,
let's have a brief look back at Tuesday night then, because it was a much needed win for a Sheffield United side who had struggled to put results together since the first round of the League Cup. And first of all, Kevin, I know we talked about it pre-match, the importance of getting any sort of win. For 45 minutes, it looked as if it was in the balance. It was
a good performance from Derby. Yeah, they dominated not dominated, but they were on top in the first 45 minutes certainly, and then midfielders caused us all sorts of problems. They outnumbered us in midfield and knocked the ball around very, very well. You have to credit the manager to making a tactical change at half time, bringing off Jefferson, which was a bit harsh on the lad because he didn't do a lot wrong. And making the switch and bringing Fleck on. And it worked very well. We suddenly started to get a lot more of the ball, kept possession better and slowly moved up the pitch, got our chances, and it was a good game of football actually from both sides. They both contributed, and it's just nice to see us come out on top.
How important, Ender, was it to get that win in midweek? Because we can talk all we like in the media here about what we think, but you're with the lads inside the camp. Is any win an important win when you're in this position?
Yeah, definitely. It's momentum, and we first half, as Kevin said, it wasn't the best of performances, but second half we really got on top of them, came out deserved winners, and then we can move that in. As I said, confidence is everything, and we can just bring that into today.
And how much have Luton been spoken about this week in terms of they're a team you'd suspect who've got fragile confidence, having been beaten 5-0 7 days ago?
Yeah, I haven't really been in the team meetings, but I know what the lads are like. The lads are raring to go again. The good thing about this is that there's no hangover from games. You're just straight at it again, and we just got to build on Tuesday's performance.
Kevin, Kenilworth Road is never an easy place to go. The stands are right on the field, fans are right on top of you, and thankfully this season fans are back in. Sheffield United have only had to go there 4 times in the last 20 odd years. The third time prior to that, memorable day for you, wasn't it?
Yes, certainly was. I think that's the last time we won there. We beat them 6-3, which was a result completely out of the blue. You don't score 6 goals away from home many times. We haven't played them much because they've dipped into non-league, haven't they, and fought their way back. It's a difficult stadium. It's obviously one of the smallest stadiums in the league. And you're right, when you say the crowd are right on top of you, which creates its own kind of pressure. But listen, the pressure will be on Luton as well, because the fans won't be happy with the 5-0 defeat last week. It's actually a difficult time to go to Luton, having had them suffer that huge defeat last week, because they will be looking to put things right. So that creates kind of extra pressure on us, if you like, to quieten the crowd and to make sure, because Luton will be up for it, won't they? 100% they'll be up for it.
Absolutely. Now, Ender, you'll like this footage because as a fullback, you'll be able to relate to it, because Kevin doesn't mention that 6-3 win included 2 goals from himself as well. We can see those goals now. Look at this grainy footage. It was a few years back, Kevin.
Yeah, it's far too many years back. Fortunately, it's still on YouTube. Otherwise, no one would believe it, would they?
Early finish as well for an early lead there.
Yeah. But everything we kind of hit went right in that first half and through the game. Yeah, and I don't know if you've got it on here, but I was about 2 yards away from the first half hat trick as well, which was from fullback, and not even a wing back, Ender. That's from fullback. So
you're getting ahead of yourself here. We haven't even seen the second goal yet. You're talking about could have had a hat trick. But this was a good finish.
I'm flattered that you're showing extended coverage of it all. I thought it would be a couple of seconds, if that. But yeah.
And this is the second goal as well. It's all about precision, not so much power, isn't it, Kevin?
As Billy Sharp would say, you've just got to hit the target in these situations. So I'm practicing what I preach.
It got over the line, which is the important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you see there, I can't believe this, because this was after about 20 minutes. We're 2-0 up and I've scored both of them.
And then we can get a current modern-day footballer's view of this third piece of action we've got, because you scored 2, but you gave away 1 as well.
Yeah, that's never a penalty.
I think that's soft.
I mean, I'm going to say that, aren't
Let's take a closer look. What do you think, Ender?
I think it's soft.
Exactly. Exactly.
Full-back union.
Where's VAR when you need it, eh? 30 years.
Okay, well, looking ahead to today's game then, what do we expect from Sheffield United today? How will they approach this?
Similarly to how we approached the last league game, let's say, we want to dominate possession, but I think what we want to see and what fans want to see is more chances created. So hopefully, obviously Billy coming off scoring last week, he'll be in the box, and hopefully we can get him the ball where he likes it, and we'll score plenty of goals.
Yeah, we spoke about this on Tuesday night, Kevin, as well, didn't we? That chances were created against Huddersfield, perhaps just move that ball a bit quicker.
Yeah, I still think we're crying out for a real creative force in there. Sometimes it's pass, isn't it, and cross, and the chances we're getting are not really clear-cut chances. We've had one or two which we've contrived to miss, but I think we're just waiting or looking for a little bit more magic from someone, a little bit of individual flair and skill. I mean, the man sat next to me, I'm not going to embarrass him too much, but I mean, a few years ago he was nutmegging people and, you know, dribbling past people, and I think we've lost that from our games in the team set up a bit.
Am I doing teams in the Championship a disservice by saying that this has the feeling of a proper Championship game? You know, we've had the high-profile games against Swansea and West Brom to start the season, but this is where promotion, relegation is decided going to places like Kenilworth Road, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. It's a Championship. It's intense. It's everything. It's Saturday, Tuesday. Plenty of games of football, and you've got to win games of football if you want to succeed and you want to get promoted. And we're going to have to go there, and we need to win. We need to win sooner rather than later.
Is this a yardstick market type of game, Kevin? Because Luton, nobody expects Luton to win promotion, but on their own patch, they're a tough proposition.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, their aim this season will be to stay up. I don't think Luton have got any ambitions at the moment to get into the Premier League. I don't think they'd be ready for it or anything like that. So if they finish, you know, fourth from bottom in this league, they'll be happy. So their home form becomes absolutely vital. And as you rightly say, it's a difficult place to go. The crowd right on top of the pitch, the atmosphere will be intense. And it's yes, I would say it's a test for us. It might have come a little bit too early in the season, actually, because we're obviously not firing all cylinders at the moment. But it's a game we're just going to have to, at times, roll our sleeves up and dig in, because Luton are a very athletic, not a physical side in strength, but they're very, very good athletes, and they get about the pitch and they make it difficult for you.
Perfect time to get that first league win, though, wouldn't it be?
Absolutely. The sooner the better, because the longer it goes on, as we found last season, the more anxious and nervous people get, and you start playing within yourself. And I think the manager's come out and said in his press conferences in the last couple of days that he wants the players to play with a bit more freedom and a bit more confidence, and that kind of comes with results and wins. And then the converse is true. The longer that goes on, people start playing within themselves and a little bit frightened, and take the easy option, the square pass, where sometimes you'd look forward or try something a little bit different. So yeah, the sooner the better to get this first win. Yeah,
and on that note, Ender, obviously we don't want to hark back to what happened last season too much, but the sooner you can get that first win, the first 3 points on the board, especially with an international break now looming large on the horizon, given what Sheffield United want to achieve this season, the better it is for everybody involved, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We want to win games, and it has been a tough start for us, but there is reasons for that. We've had an upset pre-season, and lads are still trying to gel together, and I think there's a massive improvement on the last league game now, and it's obviously going to be a tough game away from home, but I'm confident in the lads. I think we're good enough to go out there and win.
What do you like as a viewer of football as opposed to a player?
I'm not the best viewer, and I'm a bit anxious, a bit nervous, and I feel all the emotions. I'm more calm when I'm out there than I am watching.
Do you jump up and down? Do you get excited at chances?
Yeah, I talk myself through the games, you know. I'm just not really comfortable at watching because you can't really affect it, you know.
And obviously, you've got Robinson's trying to fit in the back three as well. Are you in a position at the moment where you can talk to some of the other lads, give advice if need be, pass on some thoughts of your own, or whilst you're trying to rehab, are you somewhat removed from the first team squad? You're
somewhat removed, but I've been in plenty of meetings where the manager has literally broke down how he wants us to play, and it's there, you know. He knows what he wants, and hopefully now the lads can just reenact it for him. And if anybody needs help off me, I can give me opinion, but I think the lads are well capable of playing well.
And what about the manager as well? What is he like? Because Chris Wilder, very passionate, obviously publicly announced, very much a Blades fan. He was in the stands as a kid watching this team play. How different is Slavisa?
He's very tactical. He's a bit more calm. He knows what he wants, and from what I've seen, obviously I've been injured since he's come in. So, but from what I've seen, he's been excellent. You know, the team meetings that I have been in, to the detail, to the point, exactly how he wants us to play, and it might take a bit of time, but hopefully, obviously after the last game, we've seen a lot of improvement from the lads, and we just need to create them more chances and start firing on all cylinders. And
as we're seeing from the pictures there as well, he seems to be involved in every aspect of the organisation of this team.
Yeah, listen, I'm not out on the training pitch at the minute, but from what I know, he takes everything. He takes all the training sessions, all the coaching sessions, and there's plenty of analysis, meetings and everything, so there's no excuses from the players to not go out and play well.
Yeah, and they all seem to talk very highly of him, like you've said as well, because it is a different mentality, a different approach to preparing for games than what many of these players here have been used to for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, definitely, and for the young lads here now, they're going to be learning a different aspect of the way the game is played, and even for myself, I'm going to be learning so much more when I get back fit. He can teach me, and hopefully he can take me to make me better and better.
And Kevin, I just wonder, as a reasonably neutral observer from the safety of this studio, what have you made of the first 4 weeks or so this season?
Well, it's been difficult, hasn't it? For the reasons Enda said, it wasn't an ideal preparation. But I don't think the performances have been as bad as it would suggest, just looking at the results. We mentioned against Huddersfield, you know, we played really quite well in periods. For the most part of the game, actually, we were by far the better side, and that can be said as well at Swansea. We were the better side, we had the better chances, and to an extent against Birmingham. Unfortunately, they got their first goal and just sat there and let us come at them, and we weren't quite clever enough to make the clear-cut chances I've already spoke about. So it's not all doom and gloom. Although we're in a lowly league position and we haven't got the win, performances have been okay. And it would only take a couple of the chances that we've had to be taken, and we'd be sitting mid-table, and no one would be thinking we've had a bad start. It's 4 games gone. It's far too early to tell anything, and let's just keep going the way we are, and we'll only get better. That's the thing about this Sheffield United side. We will only get better as a team. Well,
you say all it takes is to take a couple of those chances. Sheffield United certainly did that on Tuesday night in the second round of the League Cup for the first time this season, scoring 2 goals in 1 game, coming from behind to book their place in the third round of the League Cup. Let's take a look back at some of those highlights.
Game just burst into life here. Decent try there from Sibley. Freeman. It's a lovely ball into the path of Burke. Burke does well. Lost it to Sibley. That's a great ball for Stretton, who gets the shot away. Still with McGoldrick. Freeman in the middle. McGoldrick with a cross. Jefferson, that was a great chance, and I think he got there. McDonald cuts in field. Lays it on. Sibley with a strike. Blocked by Robinson. Verrips has come. Osborne, though, will swing it in. It's a decent-looking ball. McGoldrick gets his head to it. Gets a low cross in. There's a chance there for Stretton, and that was an important block by Jayden Bogle. And then from range, cuts the ball back. Brunt gets something on it, and then a decent hit and a wonderful finish, has to be said, from Sibley on the spin. And Derby County, well, they've been growing into this first half. Looking for Robinson. Gets something on that. Just glances it wide. And there is the half-time whistle. Blades 0, Derby 1. Here is Kieran Gordon. Decent-looking cross, and that's a header, and it's gone through the keeper's hands, and it's Luke Freeman. The goal that Sheffield United have been desperate for. Well, that's a lovely-looking ball in Stretton. That's a save by Michael Verrips. Luke Freeman, Burke in front of him. Freeman goes himself. Dragged the effort, left-footed. A good-looking ball in behind for Buchanan. His first contribution. Buchanan's cross takes a deflection. It's hit the outside of the post. Rolled into the 6-yard area. The keeper comes. Again, not the most convincing, and Freeman puts it over the bar. Brunt looking over the top, and Sharp might get in there, and Sharp does get in there. And what a gift for Sheffield United, and Billy Sharp. Well, he'll take that all day long. Career goal number 251. Sibley evades the challenge of Freeman, takes aim. Dumb in here. Freeman to take the free kick. Decent looking delivery, and it was Lapata. Here's Freeman. Can United add a third? He's took it on from distance. Almost job done. The referee checks his watch. There is the full-time whistle, and Sheffield United have booked themselves into the hat for the third round of the Carabao Cup.
So a 2-1 win for Sheffield United, as you heard there from Matt Young, our commentator, booked a place in the third round of the Carabao Cup, which will be at home to Southampton on the week commencing the 20th of September. What was The assessment afterwards, looking back on that game, Ender, in the camp of that performance?
It was a very exciting game, I thought. First half, Derby were on top, and then second half we came out, got on top, and it was end to end at stages, you know. And it was just great to get the win.
And the manner of it as well, coming from behind in the second half. You know, people can talk about the standard of opposition that Derby put out all you like, but it takes character to come back. Those 11 players are still a team that have got to be beaten.
Yeah, it was two teams that made plenty of changes, so it wasn't going to be so free-flowing. And it showed, you know. First half, obviously, Derby were on top, as I said. Second half, we kind of got our act together and started dominating the game. And it was good, obviously, as you said, going 1-0 down, having that reaction to still go and win the game, and that desire to then get back in it, you know.
And Kevin, from your perspective, how pleasing was it to see that fight, that character, if you like, in the second half, to turn a deficit into a positive and win the game inside 90 minutes?
Yeah, it was good performances all round, wasn't it? It was great for some of the youngsters that we played and the squad players to have more experience and first team minutes on the pitch. And the likes of Carl Gordon and Zach Prunt, you know, did themselves plenty of favours, and they'll be knocking on the door of the first team. So yeah, it was a good, as I said earlier, it was just a good game of football. Derby contributed very well and had some very good technical players, and looked a very good side at times. And we competed and held our own and managed to come out on top on the end.
And we've spoken about this before as well. Sometimes you need that stroke of good fortune. Luke Freeman did well to get his space in the box, header on target. Ryan Alsop in the goal probably feels he should have done better with it. Doesn't matter to Sheffield United.
No, it certainly doesn't matter to Luke Freeman, does it? It's his first Sheffield United goal, I think, and we were quizzing him, you know, when he came in upstairs in the studio. But that's great to see the young centre half like storming forward, the typical Sheffield United overlapping centre back. And what I was impressed with, and Ender will see this, because this is a difficult cross, by the way. And he's kind of cut that back kind of penalty spot.
It's a good ball in, isn't it?
It's a great ball in. He didn't float it in. He didn't put it too close to the keeper. And he's aware there where he is on the football pitch. And as I say, he's not picking anybody out there. He's just putting that into an area. And it wasn't floated. It was a good height and had a good power on him. And that's the reason that Luke Freeman, who's not brilliant in the air, was able to get, you know, a header on target. And if you get the ball on target, you've got a chance of it going in, and the keeper's fluffed it.
Ender, one thing I picked up on when Luke joined us after the game on Tuesday night was for the cross. He said he wasn't too sure that it was going to come in straight away. Is that something that the lads are working on the training pitch to get that early ball in?
Yeah, it's got to be right to cross the ball in, you know. The lads got to work it to a stage where they think is best for us to score, and as Corlin did there, I think it's a brilliant ball. He's put it in an area where realistically you're only going to score from that area. You kind of cut back penalty spot, and Freezy's timed his run. I don't question him about his header, but I think he closed his eyes.
He was happy with it on Tuesday night, I can tell you.
Yeah. No, people are saying his quiff put it in rather than his head. So
it's all about the product.
Yeah, exactly. No, but as you said, it's good for Freezy. You know, he's come back after being on loan. He's had his injuries, and he's looking good. He's looking sharp in training, and he's going to be a big player for us this season as well. Yeah,
and another player in the Sheffield United squad with a point to prove.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the thing about them games, is that you get a chance to impress the manager. If you're not happy with you not starting the season, or you're losing your place or something, that's the perfect opportunity to put your name in his head.
And if a headed goal from Luke Freeman was something of a surprise on Tuesday night, the man who came off the bench to take his chance, well, was there ever any doubt? Let's have a look at this, shall we? Billy Sharp off the bench, 1-1, little under 15 minutes to play, and you know, he's a fox around the box, isn't he? A predator as well. A mistake, as we'll see shortly here, from the Derby County defenders. But the last person as a defender you want sniffing around in this situation, I guess, is number 10.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a typical Billy Sharp goal. He's hustling, bustling the centre halves. He's not making it easy for them. And the big thing you see there is, look at the passion for when he actually scores the goal. You know, it's a cup game. People might not think we take it serious, but you look at his reaction there. He's shushing the Derby fans. he's doing everything because he just loves to score goals. Training, games, whatever it is, he wants chances. He wants opportunities to score goals. And for any young kid or striker out there, like, you just follow his footsteps, because it doesn't come around too often. That.
How important are these cup games? Because we spoke to Carlos Saba, who was with us on Tuesday night, and he obviously harks back to the team he was in 02-03, I think, that went to 2 cup semi-finals. But obviously, Sheffield United have made no secret of the fact that priority for them is the Championship this season.
Yeah, the league is the bread and butter, but there's a chance to give fans days out, you know. There's Wembley opportunities, there's everything, and we want to win every game possible. And if a manager wants to make 11 changes, then them 11 changes should still be expected to go out there and win.
Okay, well, let's hear from one of those goal scorers on Tuesday night, Luke Freeman.
Clearly know that your 3rd season with the club now, you've waited your chance, had a little bit of time away. Finally tonight you get your first goal. What did you think when Kyron Gordon sent that cross in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think the keeper's helped us out a little bit there, to be honest with you, but I just don't think he expected me to get any contact on it and towards goal. It kind of was a bit of an awkward kind of height, so I think he just didn't see it coming really. So like I said, I think he's done us a favour, but again, I'll take it, so yeah.
A useful one for you as well as you're trying to force your way into the first team here. You know, I'm sure it won't do your chances of starting at the weekend any harm.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, every player wants to play, so all you can do is take your opportunities when they come.
And Billy Sharp comes on, gets the winner as well. It must give you as a team such a boost to know that you have got a player in Billy just to come on and try and finish a game off. 100%.
You always feel like he's going to score, you know. When he comes on, he just gives you that extra lift, you know, and he does what he does best, you know, and he's won us the game, so brilliant.
The key now really to try and take some of the momentum from the couple of cup wins into the league.
I think so, yeah. I think it's building that confidence, you know. Obviously we've not had the best of starts, we all know that, but we feel like we're not far off of where we need to be. I know it hasn't really necessarily seen that, but it's been a bit of a change in style of play from the previous manager, and it's something we are working resently on, sorry. So yeah.
You played a couple of games now with Zach Brunt in the middle of the park, clearly a youngster with plenty of talent. What have you made of him and the future that he's got?
Yeah, all the young lads have got good talent, you know, obviously we know that, which is why they're playing, you know. It's doing them the world of good to be playing first team football, you know, so they're taking it, it's a fair play to them. And do you believe now that, you know, things can progress steadily? People might need a little bit of patience, but things will come under Slaviša Jokanović? Definitely, I do think so. Like I said, we are trying on and off the pitch, whether that's in the analysis room or on the training ground. So it's something that we're all working really hard to get right, and we feel like we're not far from that, you know. So it's just keep going, keep staying positive, and hopefully take this positive result into the game on Saturday. Thanks, Luke. Cheers, lads. Thank you.
Well, and understandably delighted Luke Freeman following Tuesday night's win over Derby County in the League Cup. Kevin, you might want to invest in some of that hair product he was wearing. 90 minutes of football, and I don't think a strand had moved out of place.
When I played football, there wasn't any hair product. Otherwise, I'd have been wearing it.
And like we say, understandably, Luke Freeman, pleased to be fit, pleased to be playing, and pleased to be on the score sheet.
Definitely, yeah. He's put himself into contention to play, and he's had his difficulties with injuries and that. He was out for a long time last season, but he's come back hungry as ever to prove people right. Or prove people wrong, sorry.
Well, I wasn't going to pick you up on that, that's fine. Luke might have a word with you afterwards. Yeah. Let's catch up with the Sheffield United manager, Slaviša Jokanović, because he's had to answer a lot of questions about where things have gone wrong for Sheffield United at the start of this season. But on Tuesday night, he was a very happy man following that 2-1 win.
You had another look at some of your younger players tonight. Again, Kasper Lopata, Zach Brunt, impressed tonight at the back and in the middle of the park. Are you pleased with what you've seen from them?
This player is working with me 1 month and a few days. They are good workers. Today was one of the chances for them. It's a lot of the work is ahead of them, and in the future can be really useful for players for us.
And how important is it that the whole club takes the victory, the positives from tonight to try and get that first victory in the Championship at the weekend?
It's positive, always is positive. Win the game, of course. It's all the competition is important. We respect all this competition. It's our main job is in the Championship. We didn't start especially well. If you want, we are start surprisingly way, but it's I trust in these people, I trust in their work, in my work, and I am sure this victory of course support us and give us one extra push. But I am sure we will find it soon better way for be close for the win the games.
Just finally, you are into the third round of the League Cup now. How important could a cup run be in keeping the momentum going and pushing you on, particularly in the league?
It's important. It's in general line. Tonight we close this competition and we don't need thinking to the second part of the September or something like this, but it's important continuity, important play the game. We are talking about we didn't play enough games in the pre-season. It's not pre-season, we are in a full competition, but it's have the opportunity for check some players. I don't know if these few days what we are talking about, if I need the finding some momentum from the Czech, some new players, and some of this situation I can do it during this competition too.
Thank you, Slavisa.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Well, we can take a look at live shots from Kenilworth Road now as the players on the pitch, building up to today's 3 p.m. kickoff. Fans coming inside the stadium as well. Let's take a closer look at the two lineups ahead of today's game between Luton Town and Sheffield United. Starting first of all with the home team, Luton Town. 3 changes from the side that got thumped 5-0 at home last week by Birmingham City. 2 coming in defence with Rhys Burke and Gabriel Osho, and then Fred Oyedinma coming in, likely to play, we think, just behind the front 2. Is it any surprise, first of all, Kevin, that Nathan Hughes has decided to make a couple of changes in defence?
Well, given the result last week, you would expect him to shake things up a bit, maybe, yeah. Again, we don't know some of these names because we're in the Championship, they're all new to us, they're not household names as such. But all the analysis will have been done and we'll know how they set up, we'll know the key players. Yeah, we've just got to deal with it, haven't we?
Ender, how do you approach a game like this? Because the natural train of thought is that, well, they've just lost 5-0, the confidence will have taken a hit, they're there for the taking, but this is the Championship.
Yeah, no, I think you're going to expect a really tough start to the game. I think it'll be a bit of a fight, it'll be scrappy, so it's up to us to expect that, match it, and then hopefully then calm everything down, set the tone, and I think this will be a game where we'll have to outwork them and outfight them for a long period of the game, but hopefully our quality will show through and we'll get that long-deserved win.
Let's certainly hope so. Let's take a look at the Sheffield United starting lineup for this afternoon's game then, as we touched upon a little bit earlier. Just the one change. Could you really leave Billy Sharp out, Ender?
No, not after his goals scoring antics, you know. It's what we need. We need people in the box. We need people scoring goals for us, and there's no better man to be doing that for you.
Luke Freeman starts on the bench. Was he the one player, Kevin, if any, were going to prove that they were worth a place in the starting lineup from Tuesday night that might have pushed in?
Yes, I think out of everybody, I think he's the one who will be a little bit put out that he's not playing. I could make a good case for having played him against Huddersfield, to be honest, and I did think he probably did enough the other night against Derby to warrant a starting spot in that team. I think John Fleck will be the first one to admit that he's not really on his game at the moment. Now, he's got the quality, we all know that, from what he's achieved in the last 4 years. So we expect and hope he gets back to what he's doing what he's good at. But at the moment, I think, bearing in mind what I said about the creativity and the lack of spark really going forward, I think Freeman has proved in his little cameo sub-appearances and the other Carabao Cup games that he's got a lot to offer, and maybe someone like him could force his way into our team. And
we all know that Slavisa Jokanovic would like to play 4 at the back, but at the moment with this group of players, 3 at the back seems to be the way to go for familiarity, if nothing else. Yeah, we've seen that in the performances, haven't we? I think everybody's more comfortable with the 3 centre-half systems, and certainly suits Basham, it suits Ben Davies, who looks to be a very cultured footballer. He can pass the ball out from the back and bring the ball out from the back. He can make 10, 20 yards running with the ball, which gets us up the pitch. Similar to Jack O'Connell when he played, as Ender will know all about, and get that left-hand side going, because our right-hand side is functioning very, very well. Baldock's doing what Baldock does, getting up and down the pitch all day long. Basham's doing exactly the same thing.
So if we can get the left-hand side functioning with that little bit of creativity and spark, you know, we're looking a good side.
Well, Wes Fodderingham made his league debut for the Blades in goal last week. He starts again this afternoon, and just before SUTV Live went on the air today, I caught up with him. Wes Fodderingham, thanks for joining us ahead of today's game. Back-to-back starts in the first 11 as well in successive weeks. How much does that do for your confidence?
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, Rammers has left, so that's left an opportunity for myself to come in and show what I can do. Obviously enjoyed the first game despite the result, and hopefully we can go one better and get a win today.
Yeah, just reflecting briefly on last week, how disappointing was that, and what have you done this week to move on from it?
Well, to be honest, it was a decent performance. I felt we started the game strongly. We were dominant. We just lacked that cutting edge, I think, in the final third, and obviously disappointing the way we conceded the goals. I don't think too much is wrong. But we've worked hard on the training pitch to try and rectify things that went wrong. So hopefully, like I said, we can go one better today and get a win. Yeah, and it was noticeable as well how upbeat Slavisa was after that performance, and then on the back of the midweek cup win as well. There does seem to be a feeling that if you can get that first win in the league, this is a team set to kick on. Yeah, of course. Obviously, we've got the players, we've got quality in the squad, we know that. Experience in the Premier League as well. So that always helps. It's just a case of trying to get that first win and get some confidence back in the side. It's a different style of play, so obviously boys are adjusting to that as well. But you know, once things start to click, I think we'll move on strong from it.
And just finally, we can't let you go without asking about Captain Marvel, Billy Sharp. He keeps banging them in. It doesn't matter how old he gets, he still knows his way to goal.
Yeah, I mean, Billy's incredible. You know, he's the sharpest in training, excuse the pun. You know, he's fantastic in front of goal, and he's been deadly all his career, so it's no surprise to see him on the score sheet.
All right, Wes, well, thanks for your time and go well today.
Cheers, thank you very much, appreciate it.
The thoughts of Sheffield United goalkeeper Wes Fodderingham there. He's now on that pitch, somewhere in the melee of players warming up, maybe even just a little bit out of shot for that moment, but we'll catch up with him a little bit later. And it's difficult for any player when you're not in the team. Wes has had a season here, waited patiently for his chance. What kind of guy is he off the pitch, and how much would it mean to him now to be starting? Yeah,
he's off the pitch. He's a relaxed guy. He comes in, never lets it get to him. You know, trains well, trains as a professional does, and he'd be delighted because, as you said, it's been a long waited chance, and he got that opportunity. And against Huddersfield, I thought he was unlucky, you know, to concede the goals that he did. I think he made a great save, and then unfortunately it just came back to him, and your man tapped it in. But he's very good with his feet. He's nice and calm and composed. So obviously it'll suit the manager because he wants us to play out from the back, and hopefully he now can build on his performance. Was an opportunity there to take the number one slot. Yeah,
Kevin picking up on Ender's point there. He didn't really have much. He couldn't do much at all, could he, about either goal from Huddersfield last week? No,
it's a good point Ender made. He made the initial save with his foot, and then the ball could have rebounded anywhere on this football pitch, and it went straight back to the Huddersfield player. You know, and didn't have a chance to reset himself and slotted it in. But yeah, he's obviously a decent keeper, isn't he? I mean, he's played over 100 games for Rangers, you know, in the Scottish Premiership. So they've got plenty of money to buy a different keeper if he was no good. So big chance for him, big opportunity for him if he gets a run of games, and it might just save Sheffield United paying, you know, a good few £1 million for another goalkeeper.
Okay, let's take a closer look at this afternoon's opponents then, Luton Town, because they fared better than many people expected last season. Let's have a look at that league table as the way it finished last time around. 12th place, 62 points, 17 wins ended. Did they perform better than they might have hoped for?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Looking at that, I didn't realise they finished so high up, but I think they've lost, obviously, James Collins, who led the line for them last season. He's a 15, 20 goal a season striker, so that's a big miss for them. And I think that would be hard to rectify this season.
And if we look at their 5 results from this season as well, 2 wins in the league, and they pushed West Bromwich Albion close, Kevin, as well, it's worth noting. Is that your archetypal yardstick team in this division?
In the normal course of events, Sheffield United going to Luton, we'd be expected to not lose the game, put it that way. As I said earlier, we haven't started brilliantly. Our results haven't been brilliant anyway. So I don't think it's a yardstick as such because we're not far enough into the season, but it's a game we should certainly be going there, and in normal circumstances we'd be confident of of getting at least a draw and maybe nicking a win.
Yeah, going up to Oakwell on a dank midweek night and getting a 1-0 win, that's not a bad result, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that shows, as Enda says, they do battle and they know what the Championship's all about. They've obviously been up, League 2, League 1. They've got into the Championship. They're gonna want to stay there. They're gonna want to fight and battle. The season before last, they were bottom of the league, marooned, weren't they? And the manager came in and did a remarkable job in getting them to safety. So obviously, well thought of. The manager's well thought of at Luton. He's kind of back home. Everybody's playing for him. They're all speaking from the same page. They know what they're doing, and it's a difficult place to go.
What do you know about Nathan Jones, as we can see him here? He kicks every ball from that dugout, but Kevin spoke about it there. He came in May last year, 9 games left to go in the season when Luton were entrenched the relegation zone, kept them up, and then guys onto a mid-table finish last time out.
Yeah, no, I played against his Luton teams in League 2, played against his Stoke team in the Championship. You know you're always in for a game. They want to outwork you, they want to outpass you, they're in your face. And I think, as you said, he always had his difficulty at Stoke, but he's gone back, as Kevin said, home, probably feels at home there and knows the place inside out. The fans adore him, and it'll be a very tough game. Very tough game.
I think the thing that surprises most people as well from the team sheet, he's brought in a lot of players from League 1 and League 2. Luton don't have a lot of money to spend.
No, but he'll know. He'll do his homework. He'll know what he needs and the type of characters that will improve them. And he kind of, the difficult thing today is he probably matches up in the formation, so it'll be like man for man. So the onus is on us to, as I said, just outwork and outfight them.
And Kevin, as we just saw there, live pictures from Kenilworth Road, the pitch looks perfect. Wasn't so in your day, was it?
No, it was far from it. It was one of the original artificial pitches back in the mid-80s, early 80s, and it was absolutely horrendous. It was rock hard, and to dampen it down, they used to throw sand all over it, which made it worse. So I've come across there a few times. It's not good.
Lost a bit of skin.
Lost a bit of skin, yeah. Mick Harper pushed me into an advertising hoarding and broke my nose, yeah, which was, thanks Mick, thanks for that, which is why it looks like it does now. So yeah, pitches have come a long, long way in the 20, 30 years since.
Well, thankfully, none of our Blades side have to contend with that sort of artificial pitch today, the perfect surface from the pictures we can see. And it's probably worth reminding you at this point that the home and away kits are available for purchase if you want them, either from the store here at Bramall Lane or online. There's the away kit for this season as well. And a reminder that if you do want to purchase them online, along with a range of back to school ideas as well, you can go to www.sufcdirect.co.uk. And also, with around 16 minutes to go to kick off, this is as good a time as any to remind you that today's match feed will be available to watch right here on SUTV Live to our overseas fans. Unfortunately, due to broadcasting regulations, it won't be accessible to those fans within the UK. For all Blades outside of the UK, though, who would like to watch live coverage of today's game, including exclusive commentary from Matt Young and Kevin Gage, you will need to buy a match day pass before 3 p.m. And to do that, you need to log on to www.sufc.co.uk. And all fans will also be able to see all of the details there around who can and can't access today's game via SUTV Live. Right, let's turn our attention squarely on today's 3 p.m. kickoff now and catch up with the Blades manager, Slavica Jokanovic.
Of course, it's after this kind of the situation, it's important they will show some reaction, but it's question about which kind of the reaction will show. It's lost 1-2 or 0-5. You stay with 3 points, and you need to show the quick reaction in this kind of the situation. For be honest, I am more care about my team, and we need reaction. If they don't need this, it's their problem. But it's sure will be different level of the concentration, of the motivation for them. But it's same for us too.
Well, quite interesting there. Slavica Jokanovic gave us his thoughts ahead of today's game. Kevin, questions about the pressure, unsurprisingly, that you'd expect Luton are under, having lost 5-0 last week. but equally he's quite aware that it doesn't really matter what they do if the Blades do their job properly today.
Yeah, that's the same for every Sheffield United game, obviously. And we've already spoke about it, hasn't it? The pressure will build on the whole club, not just him, if we don't get this win soon. Expectations are massive at Sheffield United. We're playing a team like we're in Luton who maybe haven't got the same expectations. So it's important, of course it is. But the thing about Slav is his track record goes before him. So I think we have to give him time to get his own players in and to build the side in the image that he wants.
We can talk about it and until the cows come home, but you've been out there playing last season when things weren't going well. Just how important is that first goal in a game like this?
Yeah, it's huge. It's because especially when you're on top. I think if you're on top in games, if you don't score, they get chances. The crowd will get edgy. The players might get edgy, and it just once you play well and you start out forward in first half, you get the lead. You can calm down, then relax. And we've seen it plenty of times in games here when teams come to us. We try run over the top of them as quickly as possible, get that lead, and I think it suits us better there.
All the players involved today will be acutely aware that, in the media at least, we're all talking about that 5-0 hiding that Luton got last week. So do the players talk about it going into this game?
I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't really look at the last game because you're going to be expecting a reaction. So you always got to expect the best Luton have to give. And going out there, I think the lads will be the same. They won't expect it to be easy. If we do, we'll be punished, and because that's the way the league works.
And Kevin, is Slavisa right when he says, forget Luton Town, really, it doesn't matter what they're doing, how they set up, we've just got to concentrate on ourselves?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, as I say, that happened. That should happen for every game, irrespective of the opposition. You may make one or two minor adjustments to your team or the way you set up, but at the end of the day, it's about what you do when you get the ball. And I think Sheffield United should have enough good quality players to come out on top this afternoon.
So as the away team then, how do you start this afternoon's game? Do you make sure you're organised, secure at the back and keep possession, or do you try and get at your opposition early and try and expose any frailties that are there?
Certainly the first two things you said. You have to be organised and you have to be set up right and not give anything away, because the last thing you want to do is to give Luton any chink, to get the momentum. But it's not about keeping possession as much. It's just about stopping Luton from bombarding you with either long balls or passing or anything like that, getting amongst them, winning the tackles, winning your battles, and just gradually getting into the game. If the opportunities come and you can get forward and maybe get a few shots or get a goal, then great. But let's just stay solid and make sure we all do our jobs, grow into the game.
And Enda, we spoke about how tight that ground is and compact, how the fans are on top of you, but they'll all be a little bit anxious as well, weren't they, given what happened down there last week? Yeah,
definitely. And they'll try and disrupt us and make us as uneasy as possible. We got to deal with that. We got to turn their fans against their own team. We got to frustrate them, keep them pinned in for long periods, and hopefully you'll see then the pressure building from the home fans, and it might just take the sting out of Luton.
Okay, looking towards one man who will be leading the line this afternoon. That is captain Billy Sharp. 7 days ago, here at Bramall Lane in front of his home fans, he scored his 250th goal Tuesday night. Goal number 251 and the winner in the League Cup. Here are his thoughts ahead of today's game.
I'd like to have got it a bit sooner, but I knew that one would come and then the next one would come pretty quickly, so hopefully the third's going to be coming at the weekend.
And the moment after the one in the week, celebrating in John Street with the fan, they're the kind of moments in football that really make you smile.
Yeah, obviously I got to celebrate my 250th in front of the Kop. That wasn't an option this time, so go over to the John Street, which Momentum took me over there, and the lad's name's Jake Sharp actually, so he shouts me every single warm-up, every game for the last 5-6 years, and doesn't matter even if I give him a wave, he still carries on shouting, wanting me to give him another wave. So no, I spotted him when I went on the knee slide, and he wears my shirt with my name and number on, so it was nice to celebrate with him, yeah.
Billy Sharp, understandably happy, understandable, because he's scoring goals and doing what he loves at the moment.
He'll always score goals, won't he? I mean, that is just what Billy Sharp's all about. I mean, thousands of words have been written about him and spoke about him, but he just keeps providing, delivering the goods, doesn't he? He's just a remarkable footballer, and everybody's waiting for him to slow down. And every season we think, oh, he's not going to get in many games this season. Surely he's going to be put out to pasture or whatever. And he just keeps scoring every time he comes off the bench or he starts. He scores.
Okay, Kevin, we're going to allow you to go now because you've got to join Matt Young as part of our matchday commentary team. Thanks very much for your time. We'll speak to you after today's game. And it's worth reminding overseas viewers as well that you can watch today's match feed live right here on SUTV Live. You need to go to www.sufc.co.uk and purchase your match pass before 3 p.m. We'll pick up on Billy Sharp with you there, Ender, as well. What is it like playing with somebody at the opposite end of the field who you know, given a chance, he only needs one chance, he'll put it in the back of the net?
Yeah, that's it. That's what he feeds off other players providing him chances and opportunities, and every time before we go out to the games he's always saying cross, 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 you know, any opportunity cross, I'll be there. And you just know in front of goal he's calm, he's composed, he's got the desire to hit the back of the net.
And that's the thing as well, isn't it? He might not have that half of yard of pace that he had in a previous time, but his awareness and positional play in the box gives him that half a yard still.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the quickest player, but his movement's very clever. He's never stood still. If you ask any of the centre halves, like John Egan and that, he's just always on the shoulder. You can't see him, and then once the opportunity comes, he just knows where the ball is going to be, and that's what all great strikers know. It's the anticipation of where the ball's going to land in the box.
And he's chomping at the bit to play every game, isn't he? But as we know in the Championship, you've got a game on Tuesday or Wednesday, a game on Saturday, and they keep coming. It's relentless. As much as Billy wants to play every minute of every game, you've got to look after him as well.
Yeah, it's a squad game, you know. As you said, there's plenty of games in this Championship. It's Saturday, Tuesday for most, and then you've got the cup games thrown in there. So we've got strength and depth, and I think all 6 strikers they'll play that part this season.
On a game like today, though, given as we've touched upon, Luton did suffer a heavy defeat last week. They've made changes in defence. I imagine, certainly in this league, the last person any of those 3 Luton defenders would want to come up against is Billy Sharp.
Exactly, yeah. They'll be fearful of him. He'll be harassing them, he'll be fouling them, he'll be making it nasty for them. They won't have an easy game, and then it's up to us now to just give him the ball in the right areas to let him go and score. What's Slavisa saying to the team now? Any last instructions, or is he quite a quiet manager? He's said all he needs to say and expects the players to go out? No, obviously I haven't been involved, but from what the lads have said, I think we would have done a few analyst meetings today. He'll have a few words once he knows their team sheet. He'll say strengths and weaknesses and how he wants the lads to go about it. Where do we think today's game is won and lost then? I think first goal will be key today, obviously, and I think the start of the game, I think it's going to be, it could be different, but I think it's going to be a fight and a battle, and I think we've got to match their energy, quieting down their crowd. Obviously we'll take a good away fans, they'll be loud as anything, so start of the game I think will be massive for us. And presumably important that certainly in that middle third of the field, the one-on-one battles are won today. Yeah, I think that by the looks of it, I think it'll be man for man all over the pitch. So we'll have to come out on top. You know, we'll have to work out a way to grow into the game, to dominate, and I think we're smart enough to do that. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's that confidence level right now? I'm always confident. I'm looking at about 8. An 8? 10, yeah. Ender Stevens is confident. Do you have a prediction for us as well? I'm thinking 1-0. 1-0. We'd take that. A clean sheet, 3 points. We'll find out if they can deliver. The Blades are away at Kenilworth Road against Luton Town. It's time to hand you over to your match commentary team of Kevin Gage and Matt Young.